All right, everyone. Welcome to another edition of The Urban Gardener live on Wednesdays. And really appreciate everybody coming and joining with me here today on this live stream. Um, oh, one second here. I actually forgot to turn the volume down over here. Explain that in a second. Yes, really want to thank everybody for joining me here today. If not with me live right now in the moment, hopefully on the replay later. I hope that everybody gets a chance, if you're watching on the replay later, to put some comments down below, and we'll still be checking on those and be able to connect with you that way, as well as if you're not able to make the live stream. Last week we kind of got off to a little bit of a rough start, and I was trying to figure out some things. I think I've got it kind of figured out. I scheduled the live stream last week through the computer versus the app on my phone, and because I film on my phone, I needed to schedule it through the app, and I've done that this week, and we were right away live and set to go. Technical troubles, though, still kind of hit me this week. I'm having some issues with my computer, the computer I use to edit my videos. And so been kind of having just a little bit of trouble getting some of the videos I really want to get put out. I talked last week on the live stream about getting some of the videos I did in Las Vegas put out this week, but just haven't been able to get that done yet because I'm dealing with some of those technical issues. So hopefully I'm going to have that all figured out. I got something I'm going to go do right after the live stream here, get that all figured out. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get back into editing some of this material I've got to put out for you guys. I've got some really cool, fun content coming up. So I really hope that all of you out there who are watching and catching some of these live streams are also getting a chance to check out the videos that I'm putting out too. We got some really cool, fun things going on there. All right, let's take a look here. I've got Nancy. Hello. How are you doing? It's good to see you with us here on the live stream. Everything's kind of getting going right away here, so we're not having all those issues, like I said, like we did last week, trying to figure out where we're at. So it's good to see that you're right on board right away there. And we've got Kimberly Lee. I'm so happy, my first garden, and I have baby green beans. Awesome, awesome. First gardens are so awesome, and it's so cool to get out there and just get your hands dirty and start growing some of your own food. Growing some plants like I've got back here, and house plants are really fun. There's a lot of diversity in being able to do that, but growing your own food is really, really something special. Being able to get out into a garden and grow up a lot of these plants and be able to then be able to eat them later on and through all of your hard work and effort is great. But a first garden is even more awesome because you're just getting started and you're just getting learning some of those things, and hopefully you're joining along with me kind of in some of these gardens that we're doing here and be able to kind of follow along with what we're doing here and help maybe give you some ideas for some of the things that you're doing in your garden. So it's really great to see you there with us today, Kimberly. Thank you for joining us. Um, Nancy says, "Did you get a dog?" No, no. Oh, you saw the picture in the preview. I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit here, though, actually. I'm going to bring that up because I was going to mention that there. And it's good to see that you kind of noticed that right away. I did change the picture for the thumbnail for the live stream just a few minutes ago before I started up. I thought it would be kind of a good idea to put that picture there as sort of a reference so that you could kind of see something about them. I'm going to talk about here in just a little bit. All right, Nancy's saying, hi, cool, Kimberly. Garden is so much fun. Enoch should be here soon. I'm hoping that you guys are seeing me right now. I hope that you're hearing me if that's the case. So let me know if everything's coming through and you're hearing and everything sounds all right, okay? In fact, let me do this real quick. Okay, Kimberly says, I see you. Excellent. Let me just kind of throw that out there for everybody. All right. First off, let's kind of talk about one thing real quick. There was a comment left last week on our live stream from someone who got to catch it later on in a replay. Uh, HL Haydish, I think, I'm not sure, but left a comment, says, good luck with your live streams, just a thought, but maybe vary the times and days since some people have unfortunate work schedules, and try weekends sometimes with my live streams. And just to kind of address that in case anybody else is wondering too, I'm doing the live on Wednesdays as a regular thing so that everybody knows when they can catch me live, and they'll be able to know in advance from here and there forward that I'll be here live at 5 p.m. And I thought about doing some at different times, and maybe still will. I might try and do some of those and throw those in maybe every now and then if I get an opportunity to do that. But I'm also one of those people with an unfortunate work schedule. So I work weekends, so a lot of those times and opportunities I'm really working, and at that point in time, not really feeling the energy for a live stream after I get home from work. But we might see, and if maybe some of those days off I might end up getting later on, and then I'll probably see if we can try and do a live stream then to kind of accommodate that. But what I really wanted to do when I started doing this live stream, or thought about setting it up, was to have a regular scheduled time and just to be here at that time so that people can know, and hopefully we'll be able to build up a nice little audience of people who will join with us here at this time each week as we do the Urban Gardener Live, and get a chance just to kind of discuss and talk about some things. You know, I'm going to talk about some of my videos. I'm going to talk about some things going on in the garden. We're going to talk about some of the questions that you might have, you know, whether they're questions for me personally or questions about the garden at all, if I'm possibly have an answer for you and all of that. So so hopefully, if you do have an unfortunate work schedule and you're watching this on a replay later on, that is kind of the best kind of thing after being able to see it live, which is unfortunate too, is but also leaving comments on those replays, because I'll get back to you on the comments. We'll talk and discuss about anything that you might have a question about in the video or whatnot. And also, you can keep that, when you're watching the replay, you can watch the comments that are coming up as they're coming up live, and maybe there's some things that you can talk about or ask questions or have a response to somebody later on, and you can do that in the comments section below and whatnot. So kind of creating a sort of like a little you know, kind of fun little community type thing within the Urban Gardener on these videos. So if you get a chance, please, you know, comment below and leave any questions and anything like that. So I'm sorry that right now it's going to be just kind of a regular thing that we're going to be doing on Wednesdays versus intermittently or on weekends or at different varying times. But like I said, we'll give a shot at doing some of that maybe later on if I get an opportunity to. So, okay. Let's see here. We've got... Hola, brother, from my friend Chris Robles down in Mexico right now. Thank you for joining me today. Really great to have you with me. It's great to see some people here joining in, and hopefully more will come in too. And you know, like I was mentioning too, if you're watching live, it's one of those cool things I just really kind of had fun with last week too, was when people started talking and getting a chance to interact with each other and everything through the live stream as well. So not only are we getting to connect and talk, but you also get a chance to, through the chat there, be able to talk with everybody else who are joining us here today. So great to have you here with us, Chris. Let's see, what was I going to get to next here? So just real quick, kind of getting back to my schedule or my posting that I was going to do as far as videos. I did publish a video this week, and I can't remember if I mentioned it or talked about it in last week's stream or not, but I put out a video where I got to have kind of a live stream chat, you know, a kind of a oh, I don't know what you call it, but a Skype type of thing with a friend of mine from Norway who has a YouTube channel as well, Christopher Brandsdal. And he's got a really cool indoor garden where he grows some, you know, he just blows whatever I grow away. He's so really good at doing that sort of stuff in his indoor gardening, but he also has a really cool geothermal greenhouse which he's putting together right now. So he's got some videos like that coming up for him. So I'll try to remember to put a link right down below too to his channel as well, because that was the video we got to do this last week that I put out, and had a kind of a cool little interview and discussion with him and talking about his gardening and his channel, and kind of some things about how we, you know, kind of got to start interacting with each other and all of that. It was a really fun conversation. It was a really great video. So I really encourage anybody who hasn't had a chance to go check out that video to go and check it out. I'll put a link for that video as well down below, but you can also just look on the channel page and find the video there. So let's see. All right, all in on YouTube. It says I am in the wrong place. I'm on YouTube with your picture of the dog, and it says waiting for the urban runner. Oh no. I hope Nancy having some issues with getting in. Maybe refresh. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Thanks, Chris. I was gonna say maybe um, refresh the browser, or maybe go back in and, you know, close out your browser, come back in and go through and hit that link again on the front page for the channel there. That's really unfortunate that you haven't been able to connect with us here and see what's going on so far. Oh, technical difficulties, like I was mentioning before, is having a little bit of trouble with that sort of stuff myself. It's not really a very fun thing when you're sitting on so much video material like I am. I made some cool trips to few different places this last couple weeks, and I have a lot of material to edit up and make these cool videos for everybody. And with my computer not working, I had to borrow one so I can be able to connect with the live stream through a computer and whatnot. But I got to get something figured out for my computer, which I will after this live stream's done. I'm going to go check out and get something set up, and hopefully have that all fixed up and start editing those videos. But technical difficulties are not very fun at all. So yeah, talking about that video I did there with Christopher Brandsdal, really fun. It's just one of those things that on this channel I'm trying to be able to accomplish and do more of. I mean, it's just, I originally intended just kind of doing gardening and showing my own home garden, and kind of have one of those channels where I just put out videos of what I'm doing. But I took a trip to Seattle during my first season, and thought, oh, let's just break out the camera and go see a couple of things and make some videos out of those. And at that point I just kind of had fun, and it's really kind of created a different element for the channel. So to be able to get out and visit some of these other really cool YouTube gardeners, which is really one of the things I really enjoy doing, is being able to connect with some of the other YouTubers that are out there, especially some of the ones who've been doing it for quite a while longer, and be able to have those discussions with them and be able to create videos and do those sort of things. It's really taken this whole experience that I've been doing in creating gardening videos here on YouTube to a whole nother level. I mean, I'm just really enjoying and having fun with it so much, and this last trip was just amazing. And I've had some really great fun adventures as well. I'll talk about one real quick here, just because Chris is on with us here. Chris used to live just up north of me here in Oregon, in Eugene, and and it was really fun to be able to connect with him. And I was making my trip and thought, hey, it'd be kind of cool to connect with somebody who's watching the videos and whatnot. So we connected, and then soon after that, there was an opportunity with another YouTuber, a lot larger YouTuber out there called Justin Rhodes. Now, Justin Rhodes has a really, really great vlogging type YouTube channel. He's posting like every day. It's him and his family and everything, but they took off on a really cool cross-country 50-state adventure of their own with their channel. And as they were coming through Oregon, it was up in a town called Sweet Home. So that led the opportunity for me on my way up to go visit and see Justin Rhodes. Was to pick up Chris and have him come along with me and join me on that, because he was also a fan of that channel as well. So that was just a really great thing, and that was really early on too in starting this channel, is being able to connect with some of those things, and that really pushed the idea of me wanting to do more of those types of adventures and everything. But also had a really good friend I got to meet through making these videos and creating this channel go along with me on that adventure. It was really, really great. You can look back on the videos back, and it was the visiting Justin Rhodes video. I can't remember exactly what I put the title as for that one, but you can go check out that cool video and see us on there, and it was really fun to be able to connect with him and do that. And just really fun stuff like that I've gotten to be able to do with this channel, which is just really, really made it amazing. And now we're kind of having this really cool new adventure that I'm trying here with live streams, and getting a chance to be able to connect with you guys here on a more personal level live right here through the channel as well. So this is really going to be kind of a fun adventure as we get moving forward here with the channel. Let's see here. I really hope that everything's going all right for everybody out there. So please let me know if you're getting in there. And Nancy, if you've had a chance to get reconnected, let me know when you get on there if that's what's happened. Really, really unfortunate that you're having some trouble connecting with everybody. And if anybody has any questions or anything like that, let me know. Or if you're on here, let me know where you're from and where you're gardening, what you got growing in your gardens and all of that. Let's kind of get a discussion like that going if we can. So hit the chat window up there and let us know there. So kind of talking next kind of subject, just kind of something I'm working on here just recently. So hopefully as I put out these couple of videos coming up here this weekend, it should be all set for that. I'm going to try to release a short little, or we'll see how short it is when it comes down to it after I get it edited down and everything. But I want to kind of walk around the gardens that I've got growing around the house here, and show people what we've got going this spring and some of the different things that are growing on right now, and kind of get a cool little tour of things in the springtime, so we can get a chance to see how things are getting started, and then so we can kind of follow along as we get into the summertime and see how things are changing and stuff. So I'm kind of putting together a video of that right now, so I can give you all an opportunity to see what's actually growing on out there, because we got some stuff going. Not as much as I'd hoped to have had, but because of the kind of start I had to the season and everything. But we got some good things growing, some fun stuff out there, so that'll be kind of a fun little tour to kind of look forward to as we get moving on here this next week. And then after that, we're going to get into all of my California stuff that I've got from my trip down into Southern California. I've got a couple of cool videos and things that I will talk about next week on our next live stream that we'll do next Wednesday. We'll talk about some of those videos as well, because that was a really, really fun trip. And like I was saying before, it's just one of those things that, just really, really helps me move along forward with this channel and everything, because just knowing that, I've got those type of opportunities to connect with really great people and to do some really fun stuff with the channel and everything. It's just really, really fun. So let's see here. Yeah, Kimberly, I'm wondering the same thing if she's been able to get connected. I'm gonna see here if one second. I'm sorry. Let's see here. Oh, wow. All right. So, welcome, Sandra. Welcome to the live stream here. Seems Sandra is coming from us from St. Vincent, Grenada, in the Caribbean. That sounds like a really great place to be right now, right along with Chris down in Mexico too. I just love those parts of the world. That would be so great. Or like I mentioned last week when we had our friend from Australia join us during the live stream. I just love all parts of the world. I just got to be able to get out and travel and do some things outside the United States and see some of these just wonderful places in the world where you get to grow some things and some different things than really used to being able to grow. So I'd love those type of opportunities hopefully coming up, and we'll all get to go follow along with those things when they happen someday in the off future for us here on the Urban Gardener. But let's see here. She's growing peanuts and peppers. Oh yeah, I bet the peppers do really well. Peanuts are really great. I tried growing peanuts here a couple seasons ago and got some really cool plants, and everything went really, really well. So it's something I should actually get more of and try growing again, because those were really fun plants. I really like the way they grow. It's a lot different than what you would think, you know. Um, Never really thought about it all my life about peanuts. You know, you're eating peanuts, you're taking them out of the shell, and never really think of how or what they grow. And maybe in some part of my mind thinking they're hanging from a tree or something like that, and they're being picked off or something. But really, when you learn about peanuts and how they grow off of the plant and send the I don't know what you would call it, but they kind of send a spike down into the ground and kind of burrows itself down into the ground and then forms the peanut that way. Just a really, really amazing plant. One of the things that makes gardening so much fun is to be able to grow such cool things like that and be able to experience how those sort of things grow. I really, really, really like peanuts just for that fact, because they're just one of those things that once you learn about how they work and how they grow, they're just a fascinating thing. So hopefully your peanut crop is really, really well there, Sandra. I hope that really works out well. And peppers, of course, really love peppers. It's one of the things I really love growing here on my channel. You know, I've had some real fun with peppers. If you've seen some of the videos, used to grow my peppers up on my carport rooftop. That until my landlords told me I can't do that anymore. So, but we're not giving up on peppers. We've got peppers growing, which kind of is a cool little transition to one of the things I was talking about with some of the upcoming videos I'm doing. Is I'm going to do a kind of a different type of more condensed type of pepper startup for our pepper plants this year than the type of videos I've done where I've kind of gone from seedlings and did a video with that, and then did the transplanting and did a video of that, and then hardening off. Just kind of try to condense that off and put together a video coming up in the weeks here talking about the pepper plants that we got growing, because I did a lot of those type of videos. So I kind of pulled back from being so uh, you know, putting too many of those types of things and kind of make it more of just a one video thing with that. And then we'll also talk about tomatoes that we're going to be growing this year too, because I got some really cool varieties of tomatoes that I want to grow, I'm going to try. So those are some of the things that we'll be talking about here coming up in the near future, getting those things growing here in the Urban Gardener. One of the things we'll also talk about a little bit as I do a little tour and walk around with the gardens too, with that video coming up as well. So we'll kind of get a little preview of some of those things that we'll be showing as we're growing in the garden too, because I got some great space and things set up for that. Let's see here. Kimberly Lee says she's lives in Pensacola, so that's really great, from down in Florida there, right? And so that's great. We're getting a lot of places in that kind of southern kind of almost tropical type of areas there. subtropical, near tropical. I'm not sure the exact terminology for that, but that's really great. And let's see here. Sorry, I'm gonna take a. All right, Nancy, you made it. All right, great. Here finally, but sound is skipping. Glad there are replays. Yes, that's one of the things that's great. If you do miss any of this, or if you're watching the replay, that's a that's a really cool thing about the live streams, is the ability to be able to have the replays and be able to watch back. And you can also leave comments or and follow along with any of the discussion that's going on with the chat while you're watching the replay, and be able to maybe answer questions or have any part of the discussion in the comments and follow up with all of that sort of thing as well, because I'll be looking at those and answering any sort of things with people who are watching the replay as well. So I thank you if you are watching the replay right now. And don't forget, anybody, if you're watching right now or the replay, hit the thumbs up button and give this video a really cool like, because those are always really, really important. Any interaction you can have with these videos is really, really, really important to the growth of this channel and all of that. Those things are counted by YouTube and all of that, and gets recommended more with the more people who are watching and interacting with it. So thumbs up, like the videos, leave comments. Those sort of things are really, really important. So I really thank you for doing that, because like I said, really appreciate that. One of the things that I did want to kind of mention, I'm sorry I'm kicking the stand there, but one of the things I did want to mention though too is we're kind of on the channel reaching a really cool milestone that's really happened over the last couple of weeks. Happened once this last year with the video I had about the police coming to check out my pepper garden that was growing on the rooftop. That video kind of had a cool little blow up a year or so ago, where people kind of shared it around, and it caught a quick few thousand views and all of that. But over the last couple of weeks, the video that I put out about the water wicking bucket system has just really, really been blowing up. It went from like 8,000 some views a couple weeks ago to now 13, I think almost 14,000 views now. I mean, really, really great, because also along with that, we've got a lot of new subscribers who have been joining us because of that as well too, and that's really great. In the last couple of weeks, we've literally grown almost 200 subscribers. In fact, I think we did pass 200 subscribers in the last couple of weeks, and added on, and we're literally, I think, just a couple of subscribers right now from 1,400 altogether. I cannot believe that. That to me is just amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. I really just had, just kind of small expectations about putting out videos and doing that sort of thing. So having a few hundred people to follow along with my videos was just kind of something I thought would be really kind of great and would be really kind of cool. But we're up to 1,400 now. I can't thank you all enough for your participation and you guys coming along and hitting that subscribe button and doing that. That's just been so wonderful, and all the comments you guys leave on the videos and everything, and really encouraging me and giving me good compliments on the videos that I put out. It's just been really amazing, and I just really am looking forward to doing this more and seeing where it goes, because we might actually be hitting one milestone, which is really something kind of special for a YouTuber of a small channel like mine, is to be able to get to the point where we're monetized, where we can actually start making a couple of bucks off of our videos and whatnot. And YouTube put out new parameters and guidelines for that last year, about a year or so ago, and kind of changed it. So I did kind of get monetized at first, because all you needed was 10,000 views. That happened in the first month or two of the channel, and then after that they changed the rules, and then it got to the point where you needed 1,000 subscribers, which we met several months ago, and then you needed 4,000 hours of view time, and that equates to 240,000 minutes of view time. And right now the channel, I think when I last checked, we're around 235 100,000 view time minutes. I mean, how awesome is that? We're getting people to watch the channel right now, and a lot of them are checking out that 5-gallon water wicking bucket system video, which is really great. So I'm hoping that a lot of people who are watching that video getting a chance to see the live streams and a bunch of the other videos that we've put out as well, and get a chance to follow along with what we're doing there, because it's really great to have you along here with us on the channel. Let's see here. And let's see here. Chris says, how-tos always do well. And they do, and you'll notice that with a lot of videos out there, because, you know, people are going to YouTube and they're coming to different gardening channels because they're in search of specific information about certain things. And that's what I really like about some of the channels that are out there. There's some really, really great YouTube channels who put out really great how-to instructional type of stuff. Now, I put out a couple of how-to videos just here recently as well, plus the bucket video, which we're talking about here. But I don't necessarily do it as that often, because I don't like to say necessarily I'm a teacher, but there are some things that I know work really well, or I'm trying out. And if I'm putting something together, like with the rain barrel that we just put out on that video, then I'm gonna kind of do a little how-to, which is kind of how I did how-to kind of thing, not necessarily how specifically for you to do it. You can modify, do certain things, as we all do with certain things that we're seeing on different videos. We just look for some sort of base instruction when we're out there in search of information, and that's hopefully leads people to those sort of videos, and then leads us to some of these fun garden channels and that are out there, and, you know, some really cool people who are putting those channels out, and be able to follow along with the different things that they're doing as well, you know, because I really love following along with all the other different YouTube gardeners that are out there. They're people that I've really been inspired with, and things that they've done, and some of them are just a lot better with the how-tos than I am, but we'll put them out when we get a chance and an opportunity to do so, or I feel that it's appropriate. But you're right, they absolutely do really well, you know. And let's see here. Donald Jones is joining us. Hi, Donald, from northern Arizona. And he's about 2 weeks before planting out. Tomato plants are about 3 feet tall, and he is very ready to plant. I know I got some tomato starts myself right now, and I'm really, really excited about getting out and starting to plant them out too. I've got some of the space I've been working on and getting that ready, putting out and getting some of those warm season crops going and stuff, because they're really some of those really fun stuff I really like growing, like the melons and different things like that we're going to be growing here as well too, you know. So I'm really excited about getting some of those things out. I can't wait to do that. But we got some really cool fun things that we got growing out there right now too. Like I said, I'll be putting out a video here real soon about that. And thanks for joining us though too, from northern Arizona. Was just kind of in that area just recently. Only kind of got to step over into Arizona just briefly, because I visited the dam, the Hoover Dam down there and outside of Vegas and whatnot, and crossed over into Arizona just briefly. But that was a really fun thing to get to do when I was down there, because I hadn't gotten the chance to do that, and so I was really glad I got to do that. Let's see here. Kimberly, I am growing potatoes, cucumber, asparagus, squash, peppers, strawberries, lettuce, green beans, eggplant, tomatoes, and catnip. I got some catnip out there too that just came up from stuff that I grew last year, so it's come back and it's regrown this year. You got lots of really great things that you're growing out there. So much really fun variety that you have. Some really cool warm crops going. And Nancy says, congrats, Enoch, for what I was talking about with the video, and also hitting this milestone that we got coming up here for the channel as well. And let's see here, actually. Okay. They really helped me. I had no idea you need to pollinate the cucumbers, etc. Yes. Well, some of those things, the bees will get around and do a lot of those things for you, hopefully. But to be sure, I kind of like to get in and do a little hand pollinating with some things as well. Do that with like the squash and pumpkins and different melons and things like that. But, we get some really good bee populations coming around lately and flying around everywhere. So hopefully they're really doing their job well. I did notice I'm getting a lot of really good snow peas, and I got a different variety too, just sugar pea, I think, as well. So I'm getting a lot of those popping up right now too. So they're really doing their jobs, pollinating things out there. So let's see here. I don't know what's up. I'm hoping that everything's still going through all right. Okay, maybe it's just me. All right, yeah. Chris asks or kind of mentions because he's a food nut, which he does. He really likes food. He really does some really cool food. I follow along with him on Facebook, and he's always showing some really amazing things that he's either trying or he's cooking. But I don't necessarily consider myself a very good cook or anything like that. But he mentions that maybe I could show some of the things that I make or cook or do with the sort of things that I'm growing. Um, I've thought about that in a sense, and I'm still not quite sure if I'm ready to step into that sort of content yet. But maybe I'll come up with something really cool or use some of one of the recipes or think of something like that and come up with something and do that. But I don't know if I'm that comfortable with my kitchen skills to be putting them on videos for everybody to watch. But maybe we'll get the guts up someday soon and throw out a recipe or something there. Because I know people do kind of like to see that sort of thing, or at least get an idea of, we're showing our gardens and growing along with us, doing our different things on our different garden channels and stuff. And so it's kind of even been my thought too, like, oh, what do you do? What would you make with that? Or that sort of thing. So, maybe that's a really great thing, or for somebody to think about for content or something like that, is to do something like that as far as a channel specifically, is a growing cooking type of thing. But still, like I said, maybe, but still not too sure about that. All right, let's see here. We've got, is it Ian George says, hello. Hello, how are you doing? Thanks for joining me here on the live stream today, on our live stream Wednesdays, which is something that, like I was saying, we're going to do here. I put out one last Wednesday. We're here this Wednesday. I got planned for next Wednesday. We're going to continue to do that into the Wednesdays coming forward, and to get together and be able to talk and hang out and talk gardens or talk about different things, as I've been doing too, is kind of explain some of the things that are coming out with some of the content, or maybe give some sort of behind the scenes type of talk about some of the things that I've got going on with some of the videos. So I did get a question earlier from Nancy. I don't know if she necessarily saw what I had said earlier about mentioning that I was going to talk about it later, but she had asked if I had gotten a dog. And that's because the picture I put up for the thumbnail has me with a cool little dog. And I kind of changed out the picture of the thumbnail just before I got on there. So I was kind of surprised that she saw that quickly and then asked me if I got a dog. But the fact is no, I don't have a dog, and I didn't get a dog. But that dog in the picture is actually a dog named Oakley. Now, Oakley is kind of known in the garden YouTube community as John Kohler's little dog that he has. He's in videos. Every now and then, John will have him in his garden videos and whatnot. But Oakley is his little dog, and I snapped a little picture with him because he was a very, very friendly little guy, and wanted to hang out and get on my lap and everything as I was sitting around. I was sitting in John's back patio area because I was helping him transplant out some plants into some larger containers. And while I was sitting down there kind of Indian style, kind of sitting there, and he was kind of just hopping in my lap the whole time. And he so he really kind of, so I thought I'd get out and snap a little picture, but I wanted to put that up there for reference because I got a little story I'm going to tell here, because when I kind of get into the fact that we're going to be putting out videos, as I mentioned, didn't have my laptop over the last couple of days because of technical issues, so I haven't been able to really get the videos edited for the trip I took to Las Vegas to visit John Kohler at his backyard desert garden that he grows there in Las Vegas, that you get to see in all of his different garden videos that he does. In fact, he just published a video. On one of his last videos was about planting out basil, and that video I helped him shoot with a little phone, and we went around and did some little on-scene type of video shoots so that he could talk about planting out basil that you buy at the store and putting them out in his backyard garden. So that was really fun. He just put that video out from the time that I was there, and I got to help him do that. And it was really fun. I got got invited down there by John to do some videos with him and get to hang out, and also get the opportunity to be able to talk with him about YouTubing and all that sort of stuff. And I really did put my my regimen of questions to work on him while I was down there and get some good information and everything. He's just one thing I wanted to mention about him too, and maybe people don't really understand or kind of get that sense from John in his videos and all of that, but he's just a really amazing person. I mean, I find him to be just a really personal person who's willing to help, who wants to help out in any sort of way, and was just really welcoming of me to come down and hang out with him and do some videos in his garden and help him put together videos. Plus, I helped him out working in his garden, because that was really kind of one of the fun things that I thought would be, is to get my hands into the dirt and to work in the soil and help him plant out certain things that he's got in his garden. So that was was really fun. I got to meet John at the National Heirloom Expo a couple of years ago when I went there, and I've got to do a couple of things with him since then. It was just really a great opportunity to get together with him again this time. And I just want to kind of share with everybody just one kind of behind the scenes story that happened there, and it has to do with the dog in the picture, Oakley. And I was coming by to visit John on the second day that I was there, and he was in the backyard watering his garden, and I came up to the house, and he had basically yelled at me, "Oh, I'm in the back." So I come wandering around the side of the house to go to the back gate and come into the back of the garden area there. And as I opened up the gate for his backyard, Oakley, he's a little dog, just darts right past me and just goes running out. And at the and John basically, he looked, "Who let the dogs out?" kind of thing, kind of laughing about it and whatnot. And I'm all worried. I just let his dog go. What's going on? And he took off around the corner. So I basically went following after him to see if I could find him. Followed him all the way up to the street. He lives in a basically kind of a cul-de-sac area, so he kind of walked up around trying to search for the dog in all the different neighbors' areas there and whatnot. Couldn't find him. He's just a little dog, and he was just gone so fast. And so I walked back, and I'm just worried like you wouldn't believe. Here I just lost John Kohler's dog. Oh my gosh, I was so like worried. I couldn't believe it. And I'm walking back. I go back to the back area, and I'm like, "John, I don't know. He took off. He's so little. Do you know where he might be? I'll go find him." And John, without any worry, he knew exactly what the little dog was up to and where he went and everything. You know, told me right where to go to the house and everything. And he was just right up a couple of houses, because I guess the people at that house leave out food, and he goes up there and snacks on the food and then whatnot. And I just went up, grabbed him up, brought him back. It was kind of a sigh of relief for me, because I just couldn't believe it. Here is John invites me to his gardens, and I get to garden with someone who's been such a big inspiration for me and everybody else out there who gardens and watches gardening on YouTube. And to lose his dog, little Oakley. But you know, the dog knew where he was going. He was probably going to come back anyways. He wasn't as worried about it as I was. But that was a really kind of crazy, fun little behind the scenes experience that you don't quite get when you're just watching the videos that I put out on the channel. So it's really fun to be able to tell you guys that story here on the live stream. Sorry for kicking you guys there too. My feet are kind of right where the stand of the tripod is for the camera there. But let's see here. Let's catch up here with everybody in the comments. Um, Everybody's kind of getting a chance to conversate with each other, which is really great. See, this is exactly one of the things I was talking about earlier, is that, while I'm kind of babbling on and on and on here, everybody can kind of get a chance to also be able to talk with each other on the chats there too. But if you do have any questions for me or anything like that as well, I do try to take a moment to stop a little bit and kind of take a look and see what's going on there. But we've got Kimberly, yes, son. Hi, gardeners. Granny Sam, thanks for joining us here on our live stream. Excellent, excellent. 6 months. I'm going to set out. Granny Sam says, I'm going to set out my brassicas and have asparagus seedlings tomorrow. So asparagus that you're going to just be putting into your garden for the first time, or is well, I guess that's what you're talking about, seedlings there too, unless maybe you're referring to the sprouts coming up, maybe, I'm not sure. But asparagus is something I should have planted out. I really want to get something set up. I just don't know, I don't necessarily have a place where I can put them where they can just grow and grow. They're a perennial crop that's going to come back year after year. And so I don't know if I necessarily have that space. I could probably try to figure something out in my back area there, which is something I really should think about, and maybe at least just get some in the ground for this year and look forward to maybe something coming up this next year or the year or so, because they do take a while before you're actually able to really harvest some of those really good asparagus tips that come up out of the ground in the spring. Which I really get jealous of people who get to do that. Ray Browning, who I talk about a lot on my channel, from Praxis 55712, he grows several asparagus beds, and every time I'm watching his videos, I kind of get jealous about that because I love asparagus. In fact, I've been buying up a bunch of it at the farmer's market and eating it up here for the last couple of weeks because I really, really enjoy that. Let's see here. I have sandy soil, no pun. No, I have sandy soil, and I guess I'll put some manure in the bottom of the trench. It's a new garden. That's that's a good idea. I would definitely go along and say that. Yeah. Especially if your soil's kind of sandy, you want to add some of that organic material to really kind of put something in there. Sandy soil is something that you're just going to want to continue each year putting something on top of it and continue to add organic material to bulk up that soil with organic material. So that for especially people who live in those kind of desert areas, and I know is a real issue for people who garden in Florida. If you're trying to get through certain sandy soil, is it it just eats up that, or at least drains that organic material away. So you want to just kind of keep adding that and adding that each season, and if not a little bit more maybe to start out with, just to get your garden started if you got really, really sandy soil there. And let's see here. Oh, seedlings, got seeds. She says she got her seeds from the Little Shop of Seeds, and that's Ray Browning's seed shop that he's got, which is something that complete seeds that he's got at his seed shop called Little Shop of Seeds. Just www.littleshopsofseeds.com, and you can go there. He's got a great deal on his seeds. He only sells them for 55 cents. He's not big on trying to profit big for these type of offerings that he's got. He's wants them available and out there for people at an affordable price for people to be able to get an opportunity to grow some of those different things in their garden. So I really recommend people checking out Little Shop of Seeds if you want to find a really nice great place to buy seeds from. And not only that, they're just as good, if not better, than the seeds that you buy anywhere else. He sources his seeds from great places, and if he says that he does that, then I believe him completely 110%. and I completely advocate for anybody to go check out that seed shop. And good on you for going out and getting some and getting those things started in your garden. I've got a few different things myself that I've gotten from his seed seed shop this year, and I'm going to be showing some of those things in the videos coming up as well. As well as I always raise Praxis cherry tomato, something that I was fortunate enough to get years ago when he first quit growing it, but he's back. He's going to be growing them again this year in his gardens too. So a really great thing there too. And if anybody's looking for seeds or anything like that, you can also hit me up in the comments section down below too. I do have some of the Praxis cherry tomato seeds, and maybe somehow we could get connected through here and be able to send you off some of those seeds as well. Let's see here. Chris says, get some chickens. I can't agree more. If you have the opportunity and have the space and the ability to have chickens, have chickens. I love chickens. Once I mentioned this, the last live stream as we were talking, Chris has got a really cool chicken setup that he's got down there in Mexico and everything, and I'm always kind of a little bit jealous when I see some of his cool pictures that he's got of his chickens and whatnot. I really wish I could have them here. If I could get away with it in any sort of way, I probably would. But I just don't know if I can, or if I really have the ultimate space that I would need for them and everything. But I would love to have them running around and getting all the darn little bugs and things and slugs and stuff like that. In fact, I got a real big slug issue because I grow on my alleyways and stuff. But maybe I'd be better off getting like a duck or something like that. So maybe I'll set up a duck pond and get a cool old duck that can wander around the alleyway or something here too. I don't know. I got a lot of alley cats and some things like that too, so maybe not a good idea, but it would be nice to get something that would eat and take care of all them slugs and snails and things that I've got that really present a problem for all those sort of things that are getting started and growing. They really can wreak some havoc in the garden. But yes, get chickens if you can, for sure. Let's see here. Thanks for the feedback. Yes, you're welcome, Sam. Chris, Nancy's like, haha, I love the dog story. Yeah, like I said, it was just quite a thing, when you're going to visit YouTube's biggest gardener, the guy with the biggest gardening channel out there, and you let his dog go and run, escape and everything. But I was glad it all worked out well, and it's actually just kind of a funny story versus being any sort of a bigger issue. Yes, all right, excellent there. And I just okayed it because I didn't see it was being blocked there, but Chris put a link to his Facebook Gringo Farmer page that he has there and everything. I encourage everybody to kind of check that out. Go like his page, kind of see what he's kind of doing there with his cool little urban chickens and farm and things that he's doing down there in Mexico, which is really kind of cool. I'm glad that he's just having so much fun and doing so well down there. It was just when he mentioned moving down there and making that change in his life and everything, I was really kind of wondering how that would work out, but he's just really having a great time down there. I'm so glad about that, and doing some just wonderful things. So check out his Facebook page there and give it a like and see about all of that. And he said that he got a duck last week too, so excellent. Ducks, love them. Chickens, ducks, all of it. I'd love to have some of those little feathered friends running around and everything, but someday maybe later down the road, I'll get myself a bigger place and a bigger home and have some space, and I'd be able to get to have those things for sure, because I love to do that. All right, let's see here. We got Rob with us again. Rob, thanks for joining us. And he says hi to everybody out there, which is really great. Like I said, everybody getting a chance to visit and talk and chat with each other as well too. And as it goes, we're getting more people showing up here. We're getting towards what is looking like around almost the hour mark here for me. which is one of the things that I kind of set up as kind of a time limit for myself per se. But I don't know. We'll see how things go. If everything's going all right, we'll kind of continue on maybe for a few more minutes after that as well too. But see how these things kind of go. It's kind of up to everybody else as well. If everybody's really enjoying the stream and whatnot, then shouldn't be any problem with continuing going. If I can continue blabbing and blabbing on about something. Let's see here. Leave my super hot pepper plants alone. Oh, because JDS is saying chickens are bad. Whoa, I don't know about that. I mean, chickens can be. I mean, for like if you're letting them roam around in your garden in a space or anything like that, then they could probably wreak some havoc or anything like that. But I don't know if they're bad in general. Chickens are just a really great thing. They serve multiple purposes in your gardens. They can do a lot of great things for your garden. He says they eat pepper plants. They're going to eat a lot of different plants. Like I said, if you're going to have them run around in your garden space and in your rows and those sort of things like that, then yeah, this could be sort of an issue. But for the most part, if you give them their spaces or let them work your garden spaces before you actually have them, kind of keep them contained and away from the garden spaces. Chickens really can do a lot of great. They produce some of the best fertilizer there is in the world when it comes to your gardens. Chicken fertilizer's just one of the best things when it's composted down and everything. And so, yes, let's see here. Yes, like Granny Sam is saying, set boundaries. And Chris is also saying they leave his super hot peppers alone, which I can imagine they would. Get one taste of those, I bet a chicken be running around squawking for a little while, remembering not to touch those types of peppers again, though. But I'm sure that they probably have an instinct or a knowledge already about that sort of thing, or maybe they do learn the hard way. I'm not too sure, but I can imagine them leaving those things alone as well. And Kimberly says, I love horses and miss mine. I'm disabled after my car. Oh my gosh. So sorry to hear about that. And she says that she loves horses. I love horses too. I haven't gotten to ride a horse for quite a while. Used to do a lot of horse riding when I was younger. Lived around a lot of different ranches and had a lot of people who were friends who had horses and whatnot. So I had a lot of horse riding experience when I was younger, but just I haven't had much of an opportunity to ride horses as an adult. I had a few get out, and JDS saying that he was joking, which yeah, of course, they ate all my plants, which I'd imagine you'd be pretty upset. They getting out of their space or whatever and getting into your garden and wreaking havoc because chickens will eat it all up. They'll tear it all up. They'll do all sorts of things to your garden, like I said. But if you have them in like Granny Sam's saying, boundaries, and have them contained or put in places, or let them work your gardens before you get a chance to start planting things out and stuff like that. Chickens serve a really great purpose. But just like with any other pest out there that's getting into your garden and destroying it and messing it all up, can really cause some real aggravations and all that. So I do definitely get what you're talking about when it comes to being upset about the idea of chickens. Granny Sim says grasshoppers ate her garden in Colorado. Like I said, so many different just awful things. Grasshoppers are just they can really wreak some havoc on gardens and everything like that. You think they're all really kind of cool, crickets and grasshoppers and all that sort of stuff because they're a neat little insect and everything. But when you start learning about what some of these insects can do to your gardens, and it starting to changes kind of the way you feel about them just a little bit. Especially I see year after year people who really adore and think, oh, how pretty these Butterflies, the white little butterflies flying around my garden and everything. The butterflies are out. How neat. You learn about what those things are actually doing to your garden. They are not cool at all. I chase them away. I get rid of them away every chance I can, but for the most part, unless you're doing some sort of protecting of your garden spaces, those things are going to wreak some real havoc because they put the cabbage worms and loopers onto your plants, and those things start to eat up everything. So those little butterflies flying around are actually just laying eggs up underneath of the leaves of your garden. And within weeks or within days even, you'll start to notice a lot of holes and munching and things on your really nice plants. So yeah, so there's things out there that just really mess things up. All right, let's see here. Sorry, glad you can garden. Pollo loco to eat peppers. Pollo being chicken in Spanish, loco being crazy. The crazy chicken's eating your peppers. All right, well, looks like we've really approached that 1 hour mark right now, and really kind of having fun, just kind of hanging out here with everybody. We'll kind of maybe continue just for a few more minutes here if anybody's got any questions or anything that they'd like to talk about or anything like that. Was thinking if there was anything that I was trying to remember I wanted to mention on this live stream. I'll kind of go over some things just real quick. As I mentioned to begin with, we're doing this on Wednesdays. We had a comment on the last replay left about doing videos at different times of the week. Because some people have some crazy work schedules, and I just kind of mentioned I have one too. And so basically, I just kind of wanted to set this up every Wednesdays at 5 o'clock so that everybody knows a specific time, has a specific place to come join us all and get a chance to have a fun little discussion, talk about various different things, or just kind of sit here and watch me blabber on about different things or whatever too. But you know, get an opportunity for us all to be able to connect just a little bit more so than what we get to through the videos that I put out, but also gives us also an opportunity to be able to talk about some of those things. And like I did just a little bit earlier, tell a little story, kind of a behind the scenes story about upcoming videos that I've got coming up with John Kohler. We talked about me almost losing his dog, and also talked about the video I put out this last week where I did an interview with Christopher Brandsdal, who has a YouTube channel out of the Mountains of Norway. So I really encourage people to go onto the YouTube page for The Urban Gardener and go check out some of those older episodes and things. I put together some really cool videos that, you know, I really encourage people to check out and see some of the cool garden adventures and conversations and different things that I've gotten to do over the last couple of years of putting together this channel. So some of those videos are still really good videos to kind of check out, you know. Kimberly says, yes, it's been really fun. Yes, thank you, Kimberly, for showing up. Thank you, everybody. Granny Sam, Nancy, Chris, JDS, everybody, all of you guys for, you know, joining with me here, because it's just really great to have an opportunity to be able to kind of talk about things with everybody, and have you guys have the opportunity to talk with each other too, and get a chance to meet up with other gardeners, because it's one of the things that's I will talk about a lot on this channel, and especially on live streams and whatnot, is how much fun it is to be able to connect with people, and how really enjoyable it is to discuss and share gardening with everybody, because it's just a really wonderful thing in our lives, whether it's a hobby for you, whether it's you know, you're a homesteader, farmer, it's something that you do to produce your own food, if it's something you do because it just makes you feel better. There's just so many real reasons for people to be gardening out there, and we all connect on just kind of a different level in the gardening community. And so that's kind of what we're here for here on Live with Wednesdays, is just kind of have a chance for us in the garden community to kind of have a little place where we can get together and chat and talk with each other, discuss all sorts of different things, and give me an opportunity to kind of blab on about my channel and different videos and different things that we've got going on here too, because we get to also kind of have, like I said, just a different kind of connection and talk about those sort of things. Granny Sam says, thank you. This is nice. And thank you so much for joining me. It is very nice that you're here with all of us and getting this opportunity. Kimberly says, good night. She has to feed her daughter. Yes, that's an important thing. Feed your daughter. And you have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining me here. Unless anybody's got any sort of questions or anything like that, I'm going to be looking to wrap up here in just a minute, because I probably should get to doing some things before I run out of some daylight here. I've got a few different projects I'm trying to finish up around, and hopefully get caught up with some things, because that's another thing about gardening. It can be so much work sometimes, so much fun work when it's so rewarding and all of that sort of stuff, but it is work too. You've got to put it in, you got to put the time in, and you got to do those sort of things to make sure your gardens are doing really well. So everybody's saying goodnight pretty much at this point in time. I'm gonna say goodnight to everybody else who's here joining us right now, and good night to everybody who's joining us on the replay. If you're here on the replay, like I said, hit me up in that comment section down below. Leave some comments for us, and I'll get back with you and talk with you about anything that you might want to discuss about. I might have discussed on this live stream, or anything, suggestions you might have about upcoming things that we could do or anything like that right here on the channel. So I'd really love to hear from you. So we'll catch up with you then. And like I said before, hit the thumbs up button, give this video a like, go check out some other videos that we got on the channel, give them likes, comments, and help interact with the channel, because like I mentioned before, we're really meeting some really great milestones here on the Urban Gardener as far as the channel. We're about to hit 1,400 subscribers, which is just really, really amazing. I'm about to hit that YouTube threshold for monetization for a channel, for being a small channel. Hitting that milestone is a big kind of accomplishment, so I'm really happy about that. So please keep on watching more videos there. Let's see here. Nancy says that she needs to go. Thanks everyone. Nice friends here. See you all next Wednesday or sooner if can. Well, definitely be next Wednesday. Sooner if you want to check out a video, because like I said, I'll be putting out my videos with my interviews with John Kohler in his backyard garden in Las Vegas. I'm going to do that as I get my computer issues fixed up here right after the live stream ends. And hopefully I'll get back to editing and everything. And Chris is off to go roast some almonds. Awesome. Almonds. Adios, amigos, all of you out there in the urban garden community. Please come join us again next week for the very next live with the Urban Gardener on Wednesdays. It's been such a pleasure having you all here with me today, whether you were here with us on the live stream or you're watching on the replay. Again, thank you. And we'll see you again on the very next live stream.